Hello everyone, this is Mr. H and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video, I will be discussing with you parallel lines cut by a transversal and the different pairs of angles formed when a transversal cuts parallel lines. Let's take a look at important information here. So the diagram below shows us line M that is parallel to line N. And line T here is the transversal. It's actually a line that cuts or crosses the parallel lines. Or when a transversal cuts parallel lines, there are 8 different angles formed. We're going to be looking at 4 different angle pairs and how they relate to each other. The first one, so corresponding angles. So the first pair of corresponding angles are the angles I'm highlighting in green. Another pair would be this pair. And we have another pair. Okay, so as you can see, we have 4 pairs of corresponding angles. And in terms of the measurement, so corresponding angles based on corresponding angles postulate. If the two lines are parallel and being cut by transversal, then the corresponding angles are equal in measure. So the next pair of angles that we're going to be talking about is alternate interior angles. So alternate interior angles. So based on alternate interior angles theorem, if the two lines are parallel and being cut by transversal, then the pair of alternate interior angles are also equal in measure. So from the term itself, interior, so we're going to be looking at the area inside. So this area inside that's shaded in yellow, that's where we can find the interior angles. And alternate interior angles, we have 2 pairs right here. So the first pair, I'm going to be highlighting in blue. And again, in terms of measurement, they are equal. So those are our alternate interior angles. So the next pair of angles that we're going to be discussing will be the alternate exterior. From the term itself, exterior, so we're going to be looking at the outer or exterior part will be somewhere here, here. And again, in terms of measurement, same with alternate interior, they are also equal in measure. So we have 2 pairs of alternate exterior angles. So the first pair I'm going to be highlighting in red, and the other pair. And on to our last pair, what we call the consecutive interior angles. So other references may give you same side interior angles. Actually the same as consecutive interior angles. We're going to be looking at this area again, which is inside, but then again consecutive or same side. So let me highlight the first pair. So that's the first pair. And the other pair, which is on the other side, we have this. Now, in terms of their measure, a pair of consecutive interior angles are supplementary. So if you watched the previous video, supplementary means that adding the 2 angles will give you 180 degrees total. All right, to understand this concept further, let's take a look at the first example. Find the measures of the angles labeled A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. From the figure below, you can see that One measure is actually given, which is 72. If you're given only one measurement, definitely you'll be able to find the rest. You can apply here the concept of the angle pairs that we just discussed in order for you to find the measures of the rest of the angles. It's all up to you how you will present your work. You can start or wherever you want to, by the way. If I'm given 72 degrees and this angle E right here is in pair with 72, applying the concept of alternate interior angles, right? The measure of angle E, it will be equal to 72 degrees as well. Alternate interior. All right, so the next thing I would want to do is find angle A, because if I already have angle E, the measure of angle E is 72, and it's going to be equal to angle A as well. So measure of angle A will be equal to 72 degrees because angle A and angle E are corresponding angles. All right. Next would be angle G. Measure of angle G is 72. So angle G and the given angle are corresponding. And how do we find the rest of the angles? You can go with either finding angle C or angle D first. It's all up to you. But let's go ahead and look for the measure of angle D first. We were given 72 degrees, which is in pair with angle D, and they are consecutive interior, right? Consecutive interior angles, by definition, when you add them, you get a total of 180 degrees. Now, to find the measure of angle D, it's going to be 180 degrees minus 72 degrees, which is equal to 108 degrees. And after finding the measure of angle D, obviously you can find the measure of angle C, because angle C and angle D are alternate interior. The measure of angle C is equal to 108 degrees as well. We only have two angles left, which are angle B and angle F. Since angle D is 108 degrees, therefore we can say that angle B is also 100. Let me write it here. Measure of angle B is equal to 108 degrees. Angle B and angle D are corresponding. And so we move on to our last angle, which is the measure of angle F. Measure of angle F is also 108 because angle C and angle F are corresponding. So if you notice that the answers will revolve around only two different numbers, so 72 and 108. Let's take a look at question number 2. Find the measure of angle HIJ. So we were given the figure, and let's highlight first the angle in question, which is represented by an expression 3n minus 25. All right, the first thing you need to know before doing the algebraic calculation for this, you need to identify first what type of angle pair are we dealing with. So those two angles are corresponding angles. And we learned that corresponding angles are equal in measure. So from that concept, we will be able to begin our calculation by writing the initial equation based on the concept, which is 3n minus 25 will be equal to 2n plus 5. Solving for n, we need to gather all the terms with n on one side and the constant term on the other side. So we have 3n, 2n jumps over to the left-hand side. So that's going to become negative 2n equal to 5 stays on the right. But negative 25 jumps over to the right will become plus 25. 3n minus 2n is n equals 30. The process doesn't stop here because the question is finding the measure of angle hij. So in order for us to know the measure of angle hij, we need to substitute the value of n that we got to the expression representing angle hij. To do that, so we're going to have measure of angle hij will be equal to 3 times n is 30 minus 25 degrees. So measure of angle hij is equal to 3 times 30 is 90 minus 25. The measure of angle hij is 65 degrees. And that is the answer. So if angle hij is 65 degrees, obviously this other angle is also 65 degrees because they are corresponding. All right, on to our last example. Find the measure of angle A. These markings actually tell us that this line is parallel to this line and other pair of parallel lines are there. So for this example, we were asked to find the measure of angle A, which is this one. If it's quite difficult for you to visualize it, so you can draw some extra lines to extend the side so that it will be easier for you to visualize it. So like this. If this line right here is parallel to this line here, so basically this line will be considered as the transversal, right? So this line. So let me label this line N and this one is line M, for example. All right, so if you have line M that is parallel to line N, and that means that this line crossing the parallel lines will be our transversal. These two angles actually form consecutive interior. And by definition, in terms of measurement, consecutive interior angles are supplementary. So from that concept, we'll be able to start the calculation beginning with the initial equation, which will be taking one angle So 4x minus 2 plus 3x plus 7 will be equal to 180. Right, so 4x plus 3x will be left on one side, and all the constant terms will be on the other side. So 180 will stay on the right. Negative 2 will jump over, will become plus 2. And positive 7 will jump over, will become minus 7. So we have 4x plus 3x is 7x equals 175. Then to find x, we divide both sides by 7. Cancel out. So you have 175 divided by 7 will be equal to 25. So if we extend this line, this is our line P. Okay, this line is line Q. Line P and line Q are parallel to each other. And so line M now is the transversal, right? So if line P and line Q are parallel to each other, being cut by a transversal line M, since x is equal to 25, let's find first the measure of each angle. So this angle, which is 4x minus 2, so 4x minus 2 equal to, so we substitute the value of x to the expression. So it's going to be 4 times 25 minus 2. 4 times 25 is 100, minus 2 is 98. Now, since they are consecutive interior angles, these two, so basically we just subtract 98 degrees from 180. This one must be 82 degrees. So even if you check the calculation if it's right, so we take 3x plus 7 will be equal to 3 times 25 plus 7 will be equal to 82. All right, so going back to what I was explaining earlier, so we have line P, which is parallel to line Q, and being cut by a transversal, which is the line M. So this angle is 98. Applying the concept of consecutive interior, which means that this one, let me highlight in yellow, will be equal to 82 degrees as well, because consecutive interior is 180. And if this is 82, obviously alternate interior angle, so this one will be 82 as well. Angle A and this one will form corresponding angles, and by definition, corresponding angles are equal in measure. So here we can conclude that the measure of angle A is equal to 82 degrees. And for your challenge, please grab your pen and paper and answer this question. Find the measures of the colored angles. Please type your answers in the comment section below and hit the like button and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you very much for watching.